This is like the order.
Hey guys, Mr. Ugo here. I hope you guys having a good night and you guys are ready to go to sleep. We're getting ready to go to sleep, but before we go to sleep, we're gonna read a little bit of our Bible and so we can know more about what God says in the Bible. Last week we learned about Noah and Noah's Ark and how God brought Noah through all the cows and everything, and then they were the only survivors. And now we're on the part. We're still on Genesis. We're gonna be on Genesis chapter 11.
Genesis chapter 11.
Yeah. Verse 1. Now, after Noah, years and years and years and years later, the people.
Chapter 11.
Yeah.
Chapter 11. Verse 1.
Verse 1. So years later, there was more people. It wasn't just Noah anymore. There was more people in the land, and they all speak one language. So, what language should we speak in the United States?
English.
So if you go to Mexico,
they all speak
Hispanic. So we speak English, right? So if I say something to you, do you understand me?
Yes.
Okay. If mommy says something to you, would you understand mommy?
Yeah, and that's how we communicate.
And we communicate because we all speak what?
English.
English. So back then, they spoke the same language, so everyone could understand everyone. They had the same language. There was no problems. A cat was a cat.
A dog was a dog.
Like
right?
this one right now.
A giraffe was a giraffe.
Yeah, but they all had
He's a kitten though.
same names for everything. Same.
Yeah. A kitten was a kitten.
Language. Yeah. So it was nice because they all speak the same language, right?
They spoke Hebrew or something?
I don't know what language they spoke, but
they spoke Hebrew.
Okay, chapter 11, verse 1. You want to read the first part?
I'm going to read until right here.
You read the first one, I read the second one, you read the third one.
Okay. So back and forth.
Yeah.
The name of this lesson is the Tower of Babel.
The Tower of Babel.
Babel.
Yeah.
By Bell.
Okay, go ahead.
And the whole earth was one language and one of speech.
So like I said, they all speak one language and one speech, so they all could understand each other, right? Mm-hmm. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. So they were traveling, right? They were moving back and forth to find something. So they found this land, and it was all nice and I guess flat for them to build something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead. Number 3.
And they said one to another, "Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for a mortar. So
now to build something, we use wood, and in other places they use bricks and they use concrete, right? But I don't think they had concrete back there. They had this slime thing to get it together, to stick it together, right? So they were building this building. They were building the building. First they made brick, and now they have the kind of like concrete, but it's not concrete.
It's not concrete.
Okay? And they said, "Go to, let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we scatter abroad upon the face of the whole earth." So now they're saying, like, okay, we're going to make this city, big city, and we're going to make this big building. And where was the building going to reach?
It's going to reach up to heaven.
Up to heaven.
But heaven is not able to reach.
So they wanted to reach where God is, like to heaven, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they thought that they could be as powerful as
God.
God. So they want to make a name for themselves, right? And a city for themselves, so they could be. And they didn't want to be scattered on the whole earth. They wanted to live just in one place, right? But God told Noah to be fruitful and multiply, right? Multiply everywhere, not just in one place. He wanted to be everywhere. Everywhere, not just one place. Okay, so now we're on number 5, Landon.
And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded.
Okay, so God came down, and he was looking at the tower, and he was looking at the city. What do you think God was thinking?
It's like, how tall are they? Why are they trying to reach heaven?
Okay, what else?
Or why is this tower so tall?
Okay, Lila, what do you think God was thinking?
Or maybe why are they trying to reach it to heaven?
That's what I said.
Yeah, so you think God was saying that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what God says. And then the Lord said, "Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language." Right? And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. So now there's like, oh man, they're all one. They all think that they're so powerful, and they think they can do everything, right? They think they can be like God or more than God, because they wanted to build and create and do things to be more powerful than God. That's why they wanted to reach heaven, right? So they wanted to be what?
They wanted to be more powerful than God, right?
And are we more powerful than God?
No, not by a single bit.
Right? So that it was silly for them to think that they were more powerful than God. So God knew in his wisdom that this will cause them to have pride. And pride is sin. It's a sin. Be prideful is a sin. It's not good to be prideful.
What is that?
Pride. We can search the word pride. But it's not good to be prideful when you think that you can do everything just by yourself. Right? And they were thinking the same thing. They were thinking like, we can do everything we want. We don't need God. Right? That's what they were thinking. But they're wrong. They were wrong. Right? So go on number 7.
It's your turn.
Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So now God is like, okay, so what can I do, right? So they don't speak the same language. If we don't speak the same language, would you understand me?
No, like this. Like, okay, let me think. Pretend you speak English and I speak Spanish.
Okay, you can speak Spanish.
Hola.
Hola. Uh-huh. If you speak Spanish to me, I mean English to me, and I speak English to you, you understand, right?
Like this.
But
like
if you speak English and I start speaking Spanish, you will not understand me because you don't speak the whole language.
What?
Right?
I don't speak a little bit.
You speak a little bit, but know the whole language. So, like, if my
speak.
mom calls you today, will you understand my mom?
No.
Why?
Because she would know so much.
But
she would know so much about. She would speak so much Spanish that I wouldn't be able to understand her. I'm still learning.
So back then, so God was like, okay, so now you're gonna speak Spanish and you're gonna speak English and you're gonna speak Portuguese and you're gonna speak French. I don't know what language were back then, but everyone was speaking a different language. Do you think that was
That's
hard for them?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they were trying to do something,
Uh-huh.
and the other person wouldn't understand
Yeah.
and do the wrong thing.
So if they had a break, so let's pretend this is a break. And in English, this is called a
Joke book.
break. We're pretending this is a break. So in
Joke
English,
book.
is a
It's a joke.
in English is a. We're pretending right now. It's a break, right?
The break.
And in Spanish, it's called ladrillo. So if I say, "Hey, Landon, can you give me the break?" But in my language will be, "Landon, ¿me puedes pasar el ladrillo?" Will you understand me?
No.
No, so it'll be really hard for us to understand. And probably they got mad at each other, and they probably got so angry at each other that they just spread out. Like they were like, "I don't want to do this anymore."
That they took down the city.
They took down the city. I don't know. We haven't finished here, but they probably were so upset with each other. They were like, "I don't want to work with you anymore." Right?
Mm-hmm. I wondered who started it all.
So you're a number 9.
Okay. No, I'm on 8.
Yeah.
So
sorry,
the
8.
Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore the name is called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. Oh,
Okay.
Babel.
Babel.
And from then did the Lord scatter abroad.
You said that. And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. So now, guys, like, okay, now everyone speaks a different language, and they are gonna spread around the earth. Which that's what God wanted us to do, right? God wanted us to spread and to multiply, right? But now, if everyone they speak English, they went and live in a place
Like
the United States, and everyone that speaks Spanish went and live in another place, which in Mexico they speak Spanish, so they all went to
Chinese,
and then people that speak
Portuguese.
Chinese and Portuguese, so all spread, right? So it's not good to think that we're better than God, and it's not good to think that because we can build things, we can be as God. So God is so smart that He was like, "You guys are gonna speak a different language." Right? They stopped building the city. The city was a symbol of their pride, right? And they all spread out. Okay? Now, if you really think about it, because of that, now we have so many different countries, so many different cultures, and so many different people, right? They all speak something else. And it's nice, right? Okay. Well, we're done for tonight. I hope you like that we read our Bible tonight. If you have any prayer requests, let us know, and we'll pray for you.
Leave a like if you want to.
Leave a like if you want to, and subscribe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.